The train now standing at platform 6 is the 1520 Stepford Connect service to Morganstown.
Welcome everybody to everybody's favourite Stepford TV show, StepfordTrainStuff. Today I'm going to show you my opinion of what the worst station SCR is now that Cambridge Street Parkway has been upgraded, which is ironic given that we are here at Lynn by the Sea, arguably the best station on the whole of SCR. It's a nice place, Lynn, basically. It's very nice, great success. Okay, moving on. First of all, we start off at a station that you will definitely disagree with. I'm here at Faymere because I think it's a pretty boring and dull station. But, on the plus side, it is definitely not the worst due to the scenery and the overall standards of 1.4 building being better than some of the others that are certainly up there with the worst. But this one, maybe like scrape into like maybe just miss about like top 5, but I'm not really a huge fan of this station, I'll be completely honest. One station later, and we arrive at Edgemead, which I'm really not a huge fan of. This train is to Leighton West, which doesn't help at all, but who cares? I'm gonna ride it.
Okay, I'm here at Leighton West, and at by far the best store in the entirety of SCR. But with Leighton West, it's defo nowhere near the worst station on the game, because it's very clean, and overall a nice one-platform stop. I just wanted to ride a train. But yeah, nowhere near the worst, although nowhere really near the best either, unfortunately. You already know my opinion on the station. I absolutely hate it. Like, just look at this. Look, the scenery here is absolutely a complete dump. As you can see, the road leads into a literal bush, and then when you get out the bush, it like moves on for a little bit. It doesn't make any sense. Then there's this road which leads into those bushes. Like, the scenery here is up there with the worst in the entire freaking game. But it's not the worst station in the entire game, let's be honest. Although, for me, cannot stand this station one bit. As a station, it's okay, but the scenery is among some of the worst in the entire game. There hardly is any. Look at this big car park. Nope, I haven't transported to pre-1.8 Cambridge Street Parkway. I'm at Stanford Airport Parkway, with a tiny entrance that I barely fit in, and I'm one of the smallest character sizes. So, Airport Parkway, it's not one of the worst stations for me, but for some it is, given that it's all blocky and that. Although, this bit probably saves it, with all the tube. The platform level I like, but some people don't. I honestly think this is one of the best 1.0 stations, if not the best. And I think this station is decent. Meanwhile, upon the waterline, we've got Newry with this weird entrance. The footbridge is basic and ugly, and the trains go through it. The scenery, I actually quite like the weird, colourful and generic buildings, and yeah, but overall, it's up there with one of the worst stations in the game. But at least we get a rad departure video if this thing doesn't kick me out. Sorry if the quality of the sound's rubbish, though.
I made up a little rhyme. The shark ate the shrimps, then was sick with puffs. He ate the jellies and then he died.
I never noticed that.
Yo, he's got high mindset. AJ Tracy Gavin died.
There is a couple of others on Waterline. We'll move on to the next ones after this train departs. Newry Harbour is not one of them. The scenery is great, and the station is very charming. So there's my opinion on Newry Harbour if you're interested. Okay, moving on. Some might argue maybe even the new Morganstown Docks. Some might argue Eden Quay. But Ashland Park, I think for a lot of people, is up there. But for me, it's not. While it definitely needs scenery upgrades on this side as well, and maybe some shops around here, and maybe, I don't know, the road continuing for a bit longer.
I like it. Not because it's got staggered platforms, but because it's all pre-1.0, and it sort of shows how low the quality of stations was back then. So I want this to stay as an example of it, because when it comes to 1.0 stations that remain, this is probably one of the worst, but I also like that about it. Although it definitely needs something blocking the tracks going down to Airport West from that, because it just looks ugly. Maybe a removal of the staircase. The staircase doesn't make any sense. Goodbye. Fun fact, do you know that building down there? Building of an airport. Moving on. I'm at James Street, of course. And obviously this was going to be here. It's creepy at night, it's built in a trench and it's not Rocket Parade. And it's just an ugly brown station. And I was underwhelmed by it immediately. I wanted it to be underground, like Airport West, because I liked underground stations back then, and I still do. But yeah. But in my opinion, this isn't the worst station on the entirety of the network because of a certain other one, and you may know what that station is. Oh yeah, and also thanks to the junctions of James Street. Guess what platform hasn't been used? Platform 2. They've never used Platform 2 due to the station's junctions, and I don't think it's been fixed. But if you look over there, there's buildings. That is where the next station is. We're incredibly close to it now, and as you can see, there is a weird building in there. That is the building of the train station. I'm guessing now you know exactly what the train station is. It's one of the nearest stations to James Street, also up there but one of the worst. It is none other than the worst station by an absolute mile, Stepford Airport Central. It's blocky, ugly, and while the platforms are okay-ish enough, this is one of the blockiest parts of the game, and by far one of the ugliest. The platforms don't need a lot of tweaking, but this pathway is so ugly and blocky. Oh, there's not even any lights in this bit. It is by far the worst station on SCR. In parts at least, for sure. Thank you very much for watching this episode of StepfordTrainStuff. And SCR has started kicking me out a lot again, so hopefully that'll be sorted soon, and we'll be back to normal, and I'll have more motivation to actually make the series more. Although there is an episode I do want to do for the next episode. Yeah, adios. Yeah.